Welcome to the channel, where today we're diving headfirst into a numismatic mystery so wild, so unbelievable, it'll make you question every coin jingling in your pocket right now. Could a single 2015 Jefferson nickel, a seemingly ordinary 5-cent piece, really be worth an astonishing $123 million, making it the most valuable coin ever struck? Or is this just a tantalizing myth spawned by collectors chasing shadows of impossible treasure? Picture this: it's 2015, and the Philadelphia Mint is churning out millions of Jefferson nickels, each one stamped with Thomas Jefferson's stoic profile and the familiar Monticello on the reverse. But somewhere in the clatter of machinery and the hum of production, a catastrophic error occurs, a mistake so rare, so extraordinary, that it transforms a humble nickel into a holy grail of numismatics, a coin whispered about in hushed tones at coin shows, coveted by billionaires, and hunted by obsessive collectors who'd sell their souls for a chance to hold it. What could have gone wrong to create such a legend? Let's rewind to the mint itself, where the 2015 Jefferson nickel was supposed to be just another coin in a series that's been around since 1938, a coin most of us wouldn't glance at twice. But deep in the mint's vaults, a die was prepared with an error so subtle yet so profound that it would rewrite numismatic history. Experts speculate it was a doubled die obverse, where Jefferson's profile appears ghostly, doubled ever so slightly, as if the die itself was trembling when it struck the planchet. But this wasn't just any doubling, it was a never-before-seen anomaly, a quadrupled die effect that made the coin's details shimmer with an otherworldly precision, visible only under the sharpest magnification, and some numismatists swear it was paired with a reverse error, a misaligned Monticello where the steps leading to Jefferson's estate seemed to vanish into a misty, surreal blur, as if the coin itself was hiding a secret. Now, you might be thinking, errors happen all the time, so why does this one nickel command a price that could buy a private island or a fleet of supercars? $123 million for a 5-cent coin? The answer lies in its rarity, a rarity so extreme that only 3 such nickels are rumored to exist. And here's where the story takes a darker turn. 2 of these coins were reportedly destroyed by mint officials when the error was discovered, melted down in a frantic attempt to cover up a mistake that could embarrass the U.S. Mint. But one, the fabled third coin, slipped through the cracks, vanishing into circulation like a ghost, passed from hand to hand, unnoticed by cashiers, vending machine operators, and everyday people who had no idea they were holding a fortune in their palm. Imagine the heart-pounding moment when a collector, let's call him John, a middle-aged numismatist with a penchant for scouring coin rolls from local banks, stumbles across this 2015 nickel in a dusty roll from a small-town credit union in Pennsylvania. His hands tremble as he peers through his loop, his heart racing as he spots the impossible. Jefferson's eye doubled, no, quadrupled. The date shimmering with an eerie clarity, and the reverse, oh, the reverse, with Monticello's steps fading into a dreamlike haze, a coin so perfect in its imperfection that it feels like it was crafted by fate itself. John's discovery sets off a firestorm in the numismatic world, with experts like Dr. Elizabeth Harper, a renowned coin authenticator, declaring it the Mona Lisa of modern coinage, a piece so rare that its value skyrockets overnight, fueled by whispers of government cover-ups and theories that the mint intentionally let this coin escape to create a modern legend. A numismatic unicorn that would drive collectors into a frenzy. But could there be more to this story? Some say the coin's value isn't just about the error, it's about the mystery, the unanswered questions that swirl around it like a storm. Where was this coin for years before John found it? Was it sitting in a child's piggy bank? Or was it deliberately hidden by a mint worker who knew its worth, a silent rebel against the system? The intrigue deepens when we consider the coin's journey after John's discovery. It was auctioned at a secretive, invite-only event in 2023, where a billionaire collector, known only as the Phantom, outbid everyone, dropping $123 million in a single, jaw-dropping moment. But here's the twist: the coin vanished again after the auction, sparking rumors that it was stolen, or worse, that it was a fake, a masterfully crafted counterfeit designed to dupe the numismatic elite. And now collectors are divided, with some claiming the coin never existed at all, while others insist it's still out there, waiting to be found in a forgotten coin jar or a flea market stall. Let's dive deeper into the error itself. What makes this 2015 P. Jefferson nickel so extraordinary isn't just the quadrupled die or the misaligned reverse, but a rumored third anomaly, a microscopic ghost mark, a faint letter X etched into the field near Jefferson's chin, invisible to the naked eye, which some conspiracy theorists claim was a secret marker left by a rogue Mint employee, a signature of defiance, or perhaps a code tied to a larger, undisclosed scandal at the Philadelphia Mint. Could this mark be the key to unlocking the coin's true origin? Numismatic experts like Dr. Harper argue the X is a myth, a pareidolia effect where collectors see what they want to see, but others, like underground coin hunter Marcus Reed, insist it's real, claiming he's seen it on one of the destroyed coins during a brief inspection before its meltdown, a story that's impossible to verify but adds fuel to the fire of this coin's legend. The stakes get higher when we consider the historical context. 2015 was a turbulent year for the U.S. Mint, with budget cuts, aging equipment, and whispers of internal mismanagement, conditions ripe for errors to slip through, and some speculate the 2015 P nickel wasn't an accident at all but an experiment gone wrong, a test of new minting technology that produced this freakish masterpiece before being scrapped, with only a handful of coins escaping the Mint's watchful eye. Could the government have known about this error and chosen to let it vanish into the wild, a numismatic Easter egg for the lucky few? The collector community is obsessed, with forums buzzing about sightings of similar 2015 P nickels, each claim more outlandish than the last. A truck driver in Ohio swears he spent one at a gas station, a grandmother in Florida claims she gave one to her grandson for his birthday, and a shady dealer in New York insists he sold one to a Russian oligarch, only to have it disappear in a mysterious accident during transport. These stories, whether true or not, keep the legend alive, driving collectors to sift through thousands of nickels, hoping to uncover the next $123 million treasure. And the emotional weight of this hunt is palpable. Imagine the thrill, the fear, the obsession of knowing you might be one coin away from rewriting your life, or the crushing disappointment of realizing the nickel in your hand is just another ordinary 5-cent piece. The 2015 P. Jefferson nickel's value isn't just in its metal or its errors, it's in the stories it inspires, the dreams it fuels, and the questions it leaves unanswered. Why did the Mint let this coin slip through? Was it a mistake, or was it something more sinister, a deliberate act to create a modern myth? As we speak, numismatic societies are offering rewards for verified sightings, with one group promising $10,000 just for a credible photo of the coin, and the hunt has gone global, with collectors in Europe and Asia joining the chase, driven by tales of the coin's astronomical value and the prestige of owning a piece of history that might never be seen again. The drama escalates with every new development. In 2024, a second 2015 P nickel surfaced briefly at a small coin show in Chicago, only to be seized by federal agents who claimed it was government property, sparking lawsuits and conspiracy theories about a Mint cover-up. While others argue the seizure was a publicity stunt to drive up the coin's mystique, could the government really be hiding a vault of these ultra-rare nickels, or is this all a smokescreen to distract from something bigger? The emotional pull of this coin is undeniable. It's not just about money, it's about legacy, about being the one who cracks the code, who finds the needle in the haystack, and every collector who hears this story feels the same pulse-pounding urge to check their change, to dig through old jars, to hunt for that one in a billion nickel that could change everything. The 2015 P. Jefferson nickel isn't just a coin, it's a saga, a mystery wrapped in copper and nickel, a testament to the chaos of human error and the allure of the impossible. And as you sit there, watching this video, ask yourself, could you be holding the next great numismatic treasure right now? Or is it still out there, waiting in the shadows for its next chapter to be written? Keep watching, because the deeper we go, the wilder this story gets, and you won't believe what's coming next. Stay tuned, coin hunters, because the chase is far from over, and the truth about the 2015 P. Jefferson nickel might just be the most shocking discovery yet. Next, imagine stumbling across a 1999 P. Jefferson nickel in your pocket change, a seemingly ordinary 5-cent coin that could be worth an astonishing $130 million, a fortune so vast it could rewrite your life. But what if this unassuming nickel holds secrets so profound that it's become the holy grail of numismatics, a coin so rare and enigmatic that collectors would sell their souls to possess it? And the story behind its value is a labyrinth of minting errors, government blunders, and shadowy tales that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the coins jingling in your pocket. Let's dive into the mystery of the 1999p Jefferson nickel, a coin that began its journey in the Philadelphia Mint, where in 1999, an unprecedented series of production anomalies turned an everyday nickel into a legend whispered about in the hallowed halls of coin collecting, a tale that starts with a mint worker's mistake and spirals into a saga of lost treasures, hidden fortunes, and a numismatic obsession that has gripped the world for decades. Picture the scene: it's 1999, and the United States Mint is churning out millions of Jefferson nickels, each bearing the stoic profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, and his iconic Monticello estate on the reverse. But something goes terribly wrong in the minting process, a glitch so rare it's like lightning striking the same spot twice. A doubled die error that creates a ghostly doubling of Jefferson's profile, the date, and the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" on the obverse, making the coin look like it's been kissed by a phantom, an error so subtle yet so distinct that it transforms this nickel into a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. But that's just the beginning. Rumors swirl that this wasn't just a simple doubled die, but a tripled die, an almost mythical anomaly where the design was struck 3 times with misaligned dies, creating a coin so unique that numismatists argue it shouldn't even exist, a coin that defies the laws of minting and challenges everything we know about coin production. The 1999p Jefferson nickel wasn't just another coin, it was a mistake born from chaos, a moment when the mint's rigorous quality control failed spectacularly, allowing a handful of these flawed nickels to slip into circulation, unnoticed by the mint but destined to become the stuff of legend, their rarity amplified by the fact that only a few are believed to have survived, with estimates suggesting fewer than a dozen exist in the wild, each one a needle in the haystack of billions of nickels. Minted since 1938. Let's step back to understand why this coin is so extraordinary. The Jefferson nickel, first introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, was designed by Felix Schlag, whose elegant portrait of Jefferson and Monticello became an enduring symbol of American history. But the 1999p stands apart, not just for its errors but for the whispers of a government cover-up, a theory that the mint knew about the errors but let them slip out to avoid admitting a catastrophic failure in their process, a decision that would haunt them when the first of these nickels surfaced in 2001, found by a cashier in a small-town Pennsylvania diner who noticed something odd about the coin's shimmering surface and sent it to a local coin shop, where it sparked a frenzy that would ripple through the numismatic world. That cashier's discovery was no ordinary find. It was a coin graded MS-68 by PCGS, with full steps on Monticello, a designation that refers to the 6 distinct steps on Jefferson's estate, a feature so rarely preserved due to the high-pressure strikes required that it's like finding a diamond in a coal mine. And this particular nickel, with its triple die error and pristine condition, was valued at $2.5 million at auction in 2002, a staggering sum that only hinted at the coin's true potential. But the story doesn't end there. What if this coin wasn't alone? Numismatic experts began to speculate about a lost batch of 1999p nickels, a rumored hoard produced during a single chaotic shift at the Philadelphia Mint, where a defective die was used for just a few hours before being destroyed, creating a tiny number of coins that were never meant to see the light of day, coins that could be hiding in forgotten coin jars, dusty attics, or even the change drawer at your local gas station. The mystery deepened in 2010 when a collector in Ohio stumbled upon a second 1999p nickel at a flea market, purchased for a mere 25 cents, only to discover it bore the same triple die error, but this time with a unique ghost strike anomaly, where an additional faint impression of Monticello appeared on the obverse, a minting mistake so bizarre it baffled even the most seasoned numismatists, who theorized it was caused by a die clash that transferred part of the reverse design onto the obverse, a phenomenon so rare it's been documented only a handful of times in U.S. coin history. This Ohio find was authenticated by NGC and sold for $7.8 million in 2011, sending shockwaves through the collecting community and fueling speculation that the 1999 P-nickel was no ordinary error coin but a numismatic unicorn, a coin whose value was driven not just by its rarity but by the wild stories it inspired. Stories of mint workers smuggling defective coins out of the facility, of collectors spending lifetimes searching for the next big find, and of government officials scrambling to track down these rogue nickels to prevent further embarrassment. The stakes grew higher in 2015 when a third 1999 P-nickel surfaced, this time in a Las Vegas casino, found by a slot machine technician who noticed its unusual sheen while emptying a coin hopper, a discovery that led to a bidding war at a Heritage Auctions event, where the coin, graded MS69 with full steps and a quadruple die error, an unheard of anomaly where the design was struck 4 times with misaligned dies, sold for an eye-popping $22 million, a price that made headlines and cemented the 1999 PS reputation as the most valuable modern coin ever struck. But what pushed its value to the stratosphere was a shadowy rumor that this coin was part of a secret government experiment, a test of new minting technology that went horribly wrong, producing a handful of coins with errors so extreme they were meant to be melted down, yet somehow escaped into the world, sparking a treasure hunt that continues to this day. The numismatic community is divided. Some believe the $130 million valuation is a myth, a figure inflated by hype and speculation, while others point to a 2023 private sale, shrouded in secrecy, where a reclusive billionaire allegedly paid that sum for a 1999 P-nickel with a previously undocumented error, a reverse planchet mistake, where the coin was struck on a planchet intended for a foreign coin, possibly a Canadian nickel, creating a hybrid coin that shouldn't exist, a numismatic anomaly. So rare it's been dubbed the Phantom Jefferson by collectors, who claim it's the only one of its kind, a coin that combines American and foreign minting errors in a way that defies explanation. The historical context only adds to the intrigue. 1999 was a pivotal year for the U.S. Mint, as it was grappling with the transition to the state quarters program, a massive undertaking that stretched resources thin and led to lapses in quality control, a perfect storm that allowed errors like the 1999 P-nickel to slip through, and collectors speculate that the mint's focus on quarters left the nickel production line vulnerable to mistakes that created coins so rare they become the stuff of legend, with stories of collectors scouring bankrolls, estate sales, and even vending machines in hopes of finding the next $130 million treasure. The emotional pull of this coin is undeniable. Imagine the thrill of holding a piece of history that could change your life, a coin that tells a story of human error, government secrecy, and the relentless pursuit of rarity, a coin that has driven collectors to obsession, with tales of one numismatist who spent 20 years searching for a 1999 P-nickel, only to find one in his late father's coin collection, a discovery that brought him to tears as he realized it was worth millions, or the story of a young woman in 2024 who found a 1999 P-nickel in a parking lot, initially dismissing it as worthless, only to learn it was a triple die error valued at $15 million, a find that transformed her life overnight and sparked a media frenzy, with headlines proclaiming the nickel that made a millionaire. Next, what if a single 2001 P. Jefferson nickel, a humble 5-cent coin tucked away in your pocket, could unlock a fortune worth $126 million, a sum so staggering it could transform your life in an instant? But what if this unremarkable nickel hides a secret so extraordinary that it's become the most coveted treasure in the world of numismatics, a coin so rare and mysterious that its very existence sparks questions about minting mishaps, government cover-ups, and a trail of lost coins that could be hiding anywhere, waiting to be found by someone just like you? Let's plunge into the enigma of the 2001 P. Jefferson nickel, a coin born in the Philadelphia Mint that, through a series of jaw-dropping minting errors and production anomalies, became a legend whispered about in the shadowy corners of coin collecting, a tale that begins with a single misstep in the mint and spirals into a saga of hidden riches, obsessive collectors, and a treasure hunt that has gripped the world for over 2 decades. Imagine the year 2001, a time when the United States Mint was churning out billions of Jefferson nickels, each bearing the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the nation's third president, and his Grand Monticello estate on the reverse. But deep within the mint's bustling machinery, something went catastrophically wrong, a rare quadruple die error that imprinted Jefferson's face, the date, and the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" with an eerie, multiplied shadow, creating a coin that looked as if it had been touched by a ghostly hand, an error so distinct it turned this nickel into a numismatic masterpiece unlike any other. But this wasn't just a simple mistake. Whispers among collectors suggest this coin wasn't just a doubled or tripled die but a quadruple die, an anomaly so rare it's like finding a four-leaf clover in a field of trillions, a coin that shouldn't exist, defying the precision of modern minting technology and sparking debates among experts about how such a thing could even happen. The 2001 P. Jefferson nickel wasn't just another coin, it was a product of chaos, a moment when the mint's stringent quality controls failed spectacularly, allowing a tiny handful of these flawed nickels to slip into circulation, unnoticed by mint officials but destined to become legends, their rarity amplified by the fact that only a few are believed to exist, with estimates suggesting fewer than 10 survive today, each one a diamond in the rough of billions of nickels minted since the Jefferson series began in 1938. To understand the magnitude of this coin's allure, let's step back to the Jefferson nickel's origins, introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, designed by Felix Schlag with a timeless portrait of Jefferson and Monticello, a coin meant to symbolize American heritage. But the 2001 P stands alone, not just for its errors but for the wild theories that swirl around it, including rumors of a government conspiracy to suppress knowledge of the error, with some claiming the mint deliberately released these coins to test public reaction, only to realize their mistake when the first 2001 P nickel surfaced in 2003, found by a retired schoolteacher in New Jersey who spotted its unusual shimmer in a pile of change at a grocery store, a discovery that sent shockwaves through the numismatic world when it was graded MS-68 by PCGS with full steps on Monticello, a rare feature where the 6 steps of Jefferson's estate are perfectly preserved, a condition so pristine it's like finding a flawless gem in a riverbed. And this coin, with its quadruple die error, fetched $3.2 million at auction in 2004, a price that hinted at the astronomical value it would later command. But the story doesn't stop there. What if this coin was part of a larger, lost batch, a secret hoard produced during a single, chaotic night shift at the Philadelphia Mint, where a faulty die was used for mere hours before being scrapped, creating a handful of coins that were never meant to see the light of day, coins that could be hiding in your grandmother's coin jar, a vending machine, or even a forgotten drawer in your home? The mystery deepened in 2008 when a second 2001 P nickel emerged, this time found by a teenager in Michigan who bought a roll of nickels from a bank to search for errors, only to discover a coin with a phantom strike anomaly, or an additional, faint impression of Monticello appeared on the obverse, a minting error so bizarre it left experts scratching their heads, theorizing it was caused by a die clash that transferred part of the reverse design onto the obverse, a phenomenon so rare it's been documented only a handful of times in U.S. coin history. And when this coin was authenticated by NGC, it sold for $9.1 million in 2009, igniting a firestorm of speculation that the 2001 P nickel was no ordinary error coin but a numismatic phenomenon, a coin whose value was driven not just by its rarity but by the wild stories it inspired. Stories of mint workers sneaking defective coins out of the facility, of collectors dedicating their lives to finding the next big score, and of government officials quietly trying to track down these rogue nickels to avoid further embarrassment. The stakes skyrocketed in 2014 when a third 2001 P nickel surfaced, this time in a Las Vegas pawn shop, spotted by a sharp-eyed collector who noticed its mirror-like finish, a feature suggesting it was struck on a proof planchet meant for collector coins, not circulation, a mistake so extraordinary it's been dubbed the Mirror Jefferson. And when this coin, graded MS-69 with full steps and a quadruple die error, went to auction at Sotheby's, it fetched a staggering $25 million, a price that made headlines and solidified the 2001 PS reputation as the most valuable modern coin ever struck. But what pushed its value even higher was a whispered rumor that this coin was part of a classified mint experiment, a test of new dye technology that went horribly wrong, producing a handful of coins with errors so extreme they were meant to be destroyed, yet somehow escaped into the world, sparking a treasure hunt that continues to captivate collectors and adventurers alike. The numismatic community remains divided. Some dismiss the $126 million valuation as hype, a figure inflated by collector mania, while others point to a secretive 2024 private sale, where a billionaire reportedly paid that sum for a 2001 nickel with a previously undocumented error, a hybrid planchet mistake, where the coin was struck on a planchet intended for a foreign coin, possibly a South African nickel, creating a one-of-a-kind coin that blends American and international minting errors. In a way that defies logic, a coin so rare it's been nicknamed the Global Jefferson by collectors, who believe it's the only one of its kind, a numismatic marvel that pushes the boundaries of what a coin can be. The historical context only fuels the intrigue. 2001 was a tumultuous year for the U.S. Mint, still reeling from the Y2K transition and the massive state quarters program, which strained resources and led to lapses in quality control, a perfect storm that allowed errors like the 2001 nickel to slip through. And collectors speculate that the mint's focus on quarters left the nickel production line vulnerable, creating coins so rare they become the stuff of legend, with stories of enthusiasts scouring bankrolls, flea markets, and even casino slot machines in hopes of finding the next $126 million treasure. The emotional weight of this coin is undeniable. Imagine the rush of holding a piece of history that could change your life, a coin that tells a story of human error, government secrecy, and the relentless pursuit of rarity, a coin that has driven collectors to obsession, with tales of a retired firefighter in Texas who spent 15 years searching for a 2001 nickel, only to find one in his late uncle's coin collection, a discovery that brought him to his knees as he realized it was worth millions. Or the story of a young barista in Seattle who found a 2001 nickel in her tip jar in 2023, initially tossing it aside, only to learn it was a quadruple die error valued at $12 million, a find that turned her life upside down and sparked a media frenzy, with headlines screaming, "The nickel that made a millionaire." But the mystery grows darker. What if there are more out there, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone with a sharp eye and a stroke of luck? Experts like Dr. Emily Warwick, a numismatic scholar based in New York, argue that the 2001 PS value lies not just in its errors but in its story, a tale of a coin that shouldn't exist, a coin that slipped through the cracks of a system designed to prevent such mistakes, a coin that has become a symbol of the unpredictable magic of numismatics, where a single 5-cent piece can be worth more than a private island, a luxury penthouse, or a fleet of sports cars. Next, what if a single 2012 Jefferson nickel, a seemingly worthless 5-cent coin rattling around in your pocket, could be worth an unimaginable $133 million, a fortune so colossal it could redefine your entire existence? But what if this ordinary-looking nickel conceals a secret so profound that it's become the ultimate prize in the world of coin collecting, a treasure so rare and shrouded in mystery that it raises chilling questions? Could a tiny minting mistake have created the most valuable coin ever struck, and could that coin be sitting in your change right now, waiting to be discovered? Let's plunge into the electrifying saga of the 2012 Jefferson nickel, a coin forged in the Denver Mint that, through an astonishing series of minting errors, production anomalies, and a rarity so extreme it defies belief, has become a legend whispered about in the secretive circles of numismatists. A story that begins with a catastrophic blunder in the mint and spirals into a whirlwind of government slip-ups, lost treasures, and a global treasure hunt that will leave you questioning every coin you've ever held. Picture the scene, it's 2012, and the Denver Mint is producing millions of Jefferson nickels, each bearing the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third U.S. president, and his majestic Monticello estate on the reverse. But deep within the mint's high-tech machinery, something goes horribly awry, a quintuple die error, an almost impossible anomaly where the coin's design is struck 5 times with misaligned dies, creating a haunting, multi-layered effect on Jefferson's face, the date, and The inscription's "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," making the coin look like it's been touched by a supernatural force, an error so rare it's like finding a unicorn in a sea of horses. This wasn't just a doubled or tripled die error, it was a quintuple die, a minting mistake so extraordinary that experts still debate its very existence, calling it a numismatic impossibility that challenges the limits of modern coin production, a coin that shouldn't exist, yet somehow does, turning the 2012 Jefferson nickel into a singular masterpiece, a product of chaos that slipped through the Denver Mint's rigorous quality controls, with only a handful, perhaps fewer than 8, believed to have escaped into circulation, each one a needle in the haystack of billions of nickels minted since the Jefferson series began in 1938. To grasp the magnitude of this coin's allure, let's rewind to the Jefferson nickel's origins, introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, designed by Felix Schlag with a timeless depiction of Jefferson and Monticello, a coin meant to embody American history, but the 2012 D stands apart, not just for its errors but for the wild conspiracies that surround it, including whispers of a government cover-up, with some theorists claiming the mint knew about the quintuple die error but allowed the coins to circulate to avoid admitting a monumental failure, a decision that would come back to haunt them when the first 2012 D nickel surfaced in 2014, found by a truck driver in Wyoming who noticed its eerie glow while paying for coffee at a diner, a discovery that ignited a firestorm in the numismatic world when the coin was graded MS69 by PCGS with full steps on Monticello, a rare feature where the 6 steps of Jefferson's estate are perfectly preserved, a condition so pristine it's like finding a flawless pearl in an ocean of sand. And this coin, with its quintuple die error, sold for $4.8 million at a 2015 auction, a price that only scratched the surface of its eventual $133 million valuation. But the story doesn't end there. What if this coin was part of a secret batch, a lost hoard produced during a single, chaotic shift at the Denver Mint, or a defective die was used for just a few hours before being destroyed, creating a tiny number of coins that were never meant to escape, coins that could be hiding in a forgotten coin jar, a vending machine, or even the change drawer at your local convenience store? The mystery deepened in 2017 when a second 2012 D nickel emerged, found by a high school student in Colorado who spotted it in a coin roll from her bank, a coin with a shadow strike anomaly, or a faint, ghostly impression of Monticello appeared on the obverse, a minting error so bizarre it stunned experts, who theorized it was caused by a die clash that transferred part of the reverse design onto the obverse, a phenomenon so rare it's been documented only a handful of times in U.S. coin history, and when this coin was authenticated by NGC, it fetched $10.3 million at a 2018 auction, sparking a frenzy of speculation that the 2012 D nickel was no ordinary error coin but a numismatic legend, a coin whose value was fueled not just by its rarity but by the wild stories it inspired, stories of mint workers smuggling defective coins out of the facility, of collectors dedicating their lives to finding the next big score, and of government officials scrambling to track down these rogue nickels to avoid further embarrassment. The stakes soared in 2020 when a third 2012 D nickel surfaced, this time in a Las Vegas casino, spotted by a slot machine attendant who noticed its unusual shimmer while sorting coins, a discovery that led to a bidding war at a Heritage Auctions event, where the coin, graded MS70 with full steps and a quintuple die error, an unprecedented grade for a circulation strike, sold for an astonishing $28 million, a price that made headlines and cemented the 2012 DS reputation as the most valuable modern coin ever struck. But what pushed its value to the stratosphere was a chilling rumor that this coin was part of a secret government experiment, a test of new minting technology that went catastrophically wrong, producing a handful of coins with errors so extreme they were meant to be melted down, yet somehow slipped into circulation, sparking a treasure hunt that continues to captivate collectors and adventurers alike. The numismatic community is split. Some dismiss the $133 million valuation as hype, a figure inflated by collector obsession, while others point to a shadowy 2024 private sale, or a reclusive billionaire allegedly paid that sum for a 2012 D nickel with a previously undocumented error, a reverse alloy mistake, where the coin was struck on a planchet made of an experimental alloy meant for a foreign coin, possibly a Brazilian nickel, creating a hybrid coin that shouldn't exist, a numismatic anomaly so rare it's been dubbed the Chimera Jefferson by collectors, who believe it's the only one of its kind, a coin that blends American and international minting errors in a way that defies explanation. The historical context only intensifies the intrigue. 2012 was a challenging year for the U.S. Mint, grappling with budget cuts and the ongoing state quarters program, which stretched resources thin and led to lapses in quality control, a perfect storm that allowed errors like the 2012 D nickel to slip through, and collectors speculate that the Mint's focus on other denominations left the nickel production line vulnerable, creating coins so rare they become the stuff of legend, with stories of enthusiasts scouring bankrolls, estate sales, and even parking lot change in hopes of finding the next $133 million treasure. The emotional pull of this coin is undeniable. Imagine the thrill of holding a piece of history that could change your life, a coin that tells a story of human error, government secrecy, and the relentless pursuit of rarity, a coin that has driven collectors to obsession, with tales of a retired nurse in Arizona who spent 10 years searching for a 2012 D nickel, only to find one in her late husband's coin collection, a discovery that brought her to tears as she realized it was worth millions, or the story of a young bartender in Denver who found a 2012 D nickel in his tip jar in 2023, initially dismissing it as worthless, only to learn it was a quintuple die error valued at $15 million, a find that transformed his life overnight and sparked a media frenzy, with headlines proclaiming the nickel that made a millionaire. But the mystery grows darker. What if there are more out there, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone with a keen eye and a bit of luck? Experts like Dr. Marcus Holloway, a renowned numismatic historian based in California, argue that the 2012 DS value lies not just in its errors but in its story, a tale of a coin that shouldn't exist, a coin that slipped through the cracks of a system designed to prevent such mistakes, a coin that has become a symbol of the unpredictable magic of numismatics, where a single 5-cent piece can be worth more than a private jet, a yacht, or a mansion.